And what is menstrual cycle? Menstrual cycle starts from the first day of your current menstruation and ends on the onset of the next menstrual cycle. Let's say, for example, that your period for this month started on the 1st of September and the next one starts on the 29th of September. It basically means that your menstrual cycle is from the 1st of September to the 29th of September. So that first day to that 29 is assumed is said to be the menstrual cycle for that particular month, which is a 20. If you calculate it, first to 29 is 29 days. So which means that for that month, that individual is having a 29 days cycle. I guess I'm making sense. And also want to point out that menstruation can occur without ovulation. And this is termed as an ovulatory cycle, whereby menstruation occurs without ovulation taking place. And what is ovulation basically? Ovulation is the release of the ovum or the egg from the ovaries for fertilization. Yeah, that is basically what ovulation is. And this is another topic I'm going to treat because I told you guys that this is going to be in a form of series. So this is part one of understanding our health and our body as women. Yeah, so there are some cycles or there are some menstruation that occurs without ovulation taking place. And sometimes this anovulatory cycle occurs during puberty, and sometimes it and also occurs during the before the onset of menopause. We know what is menopause. This I'm going to talk about in subsequent video. So if this occurs there, like I said, an ovulatory cycle occurs during puberty and before the onset of menopause. But when some persons experience this anovulatory cycle during their childbearing age, and what does this imply? It implies that such an individual will experience infertility or issue with conception because without ovulation, conception cannot take place because the sperm needs to go and fertilize the egg. And in a place where there is no egg release, the sperm has nothing to fertilize, leading towards no pregnancy. Yeah, leading to no pregnancy. So ovulation is very, very paramount, very, very important in every cycle. Yeah, it's very, very important in every cycle, especially when a woman has gotten to that childbearing age. It's very necessary and important that ovulation occurs. But I know that most times people don't know when ovulation does not occur in their cycle. Yeah, people don't know. It's probably when you are married and you try to conceive, and after some period of time, nothing happens. You become worried, and probably during the maybe when you go to see your gynecologist and series of tests is done, it will not be discovered that probably you are not ovulating. But outside that, there's no way you will know. One causes of this anovulatory cycle. But there are things that leads to someone not ovulating before the menstruation. In as much as the person did not ovulate, menstruation will also occur. Yeah, menstruation will also occur because, like I said earlier on, if you paid attention, I said that menstruation is the shedding of the inner lining of the womb, which is the uterus. Yeah, it's the shedding of the. So ovulation does not necessarily need to occur for menstruation to take place because menstruation will occur irrespective of you ovulating or not. And there are some factors that causes this anovulatory cycle. We have the hormonal imbalance, like I said, progesterone and estrogen. There are other hormones that are responsible as well for ovulation. I'll be specific on estrogen and progesterone. So when there's hormonal imbalance in the woman's body, this leads to um, this leads to absence of ovulation. When eating disorder, yeah, eating disorder could also lead to could also lead to absence of ovulation during the menstrual cycle. When the way you eat improper meals, consume some certain kinds of food, all this tends to lead to um, absence of ovulation. And all this I will still talk about. If you are interested in this kind of video, please subscribe to my channel, like, leave a comment, and please hit the notification button, and so that you get notified whenever I upload um, subsequent videos. Because this actually is an interesting topic, and this is just part one of the series. I have more juicy content coming up. I will follow up this part one. So guys, please subscribe and hit the notification button to get notified whenever I upload any video. And also guys, leave a comment in the comment section. If there's any question that you want to ask, please leave in the comment section and we attend to it. And guys, help my ministry grow. Share among your friends. What are the common causes of absence of ovulation in the menstrual cycle? I said hormonal imbalance, eating disorder, prolonged strenuous exercise program. Let's assume that you are someone who don't exercise on a regular basis, and all of a sudden you dive into strenuous exercise. This could have detrimental effects in your cycle as a woman. Yeah, but there are some persons, those who are already used to such, may not experience this. But for someone who actually does not exercise, and all of a sudden you start exercising and you go into a vigorous type of exercise, it's going to have effects on your menstrual cycle. And also eating disorder. Yeah, when you eat imbalanced meal, eat some certain kinds of food, all this also will cause an ovulatory cycle. When there's also hypothalamic dysfunction, I will not go much into this because I don't want to confuse you guys. When there's tumor in the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, they are responsible for the release of hormones. The hormones that are responsible for ovulation. So if anything happens to the hypothalamus or the pituitary gland, automatically it will lead to an ovulatory cycle. And also when there's tumor in the ovaries, even when the hormones are okay and there's an issue with the ovary, when there's a tumor in the ovary, automatically there will be no ovulation. And when there's also long-term use of contraceptive, steroidal oral contraceptive, this will also lead to absence of ovulation in the menstrual cycle. If you want me to talk more on these causes that I've mentioned, please leave it in the comment section. I'll go through it and I will talk more in detail any of these that you feel like you want to know more. We need to know, the different type of menstrual cycle. Yeah, the different type of menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle can be irregular or regular. Could be irregular or regular. What do I mean by regular menstrual cycle? Sorry guys for that. What do I mean by regular menstrual cycle? Regular menstrual cycle is having a constant cycle every month. Constant cycle every month. It could either be 21 days, every 21 days, or every 34 days, or every 35 days, or just mention it, but it's constant every month for that person. It's having a constant cycle every month. Every 21 days, you know that every 21 days your period is coming, every 32 days your period is coming, every 35 days your period is coming. That those who fall into this category are said to have regular menstrual cycle. Sorry guys, somebody's here to distract me. While for those who are having irregular menstrual cycle, it varies. Let's say for example this month you are having 21 day cycle, Next month you're having 32-day cycle. Next month you're having 34-day cycle. It's not constant. Yeah, it's not constant. Every month you experience different number of days. And this those who fall into this group, if you don't understand your cycle, if you don't know how to calculate to get to know your fertile period, you will have issues with conception. Yeah, because now it's not constant. Normally they will tell you that ovulation occurs. I'm going to talk about that in ovulation when I'm going to deal with ovulation and knowing your fertile period. I'm going to talk about it more. So for those who have a constant cycle, let's say somebody who is having 28 days cycle knows that every 14th of the month ovulation takes place, except something happens. Someone who is having 30 days cycle knows that um, every 15th day or every 16th day your ovulation occurs. Someone who is having 32 days knows that every 18th day of the cycle ovulation occurs. But for someone who has irregular menstrual cycle, that to this month it could be 21, next month it could be 30, the other month could be 35. There are things you need to understand. You need to understand your body physiologically, the changes that accompanies ovulation, for you to know when you are in your fertile period, to abstain from sex, to prevent pregnancy, or to have sex to attain pregnancy. I will talk more on that when I'm talking about ovulation and knowing your fertile period. And having talked about regular and irregular menstrual cycle, I would like also to talk about the cycle length. Yeah, cycle length. Cycle length, you have the normal cycle length, which is between 21 days to 35 days. Yeah, and anything above 35 days has a medical terminology for it, and anything below 21 days have a name for it. If you listen to where I talked about the abnormal menstruation, you will understand what I'm talking about. A menstrual cycle that is below 21 days is called polymenorrhea. Polymenorrhea, which simply means that I said there will be increase in frequency of the menstrual bleeding, which means that for somebody that is having a menstrual cycle less than 21 days, that person will experience menstruation more than twice in a month. Yeah, for somebody who is experiencing polymenorrhea, will experience menstrual cycle more than twice in a month. Yeah, more than twice in a month, because there will be increase in the frequency of the menstrual bleeding. While for someone who is having a menstrual cycle above 35 days, that is termed as oligomenorrhea. It means that there are some months the person will not experience even menstruation. There's that oligomenorrhea, if you remember, I said it's a decrease in the frequency of the menstrual bleeding. So someone who is experiencing oligomenorrhea in some months will not experience menstrual cycle. I don't know if that is clear. And all this could be treated as well. And finally, to wrap up this video, I would like to talk about the factors that affect our menstrual cycle. There are certain factors that affect our menstrual cycles. One, stress. Yes, stress is a major factor that can alter your menstrual cycle. Be it emotionally, psychologically, physiologically, just name it, stress as a whole. You know why? I'm going to talk about the effect of stress in subsequent video. Effect of stress on the menstrual cycle, effect of stress on the woman physiological mechanism as a whole. Because I cannot talk all about that in this video, because this video is even getting too lengthy. So stress plays a major role in our menstrual cycle. when you are stressed, the body tends to change because there are the same part of the brain that controls the menstrual cycle, the reproductive physique of a woman. It is the same part of the brain that deals with stress. Yes, same part of the brain that deals with stress. So if a woman or a lady is stressed, instead of the body to deal with, let's say the woman is in her reproductive age, instead of the brain to think about releasing the hormones responsible for ovulation and all whatnot, the body will be dealing with the stress. I hope you are getting it. The body will deal with the stress because the brain cannot do two things at the same time because it's the same. And like I said, the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland are the ones responsible for our reproductive mechanism. So, and also there are also the centers that release the hormone that controls or that helps the body to deal with stress. So, if a woman is stressed, instead of that part of the brain, the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland to anterior pituitary gland to release hormones that is responsible for reproduction, instead they'll release in the cortisol to help the body deal with the stress and hence hindering the productive aspect of the woman's body. So it's advisable as a woman or as a lady, we should always do our best to avoid anything that will cause us stress, be it internal stress, external stress. We should try to avoid such, especially for women, the TTC mothers, those who are expecting to conceive. It's always important that you avoid stress. Even when every other thing in your body is okay, every hormone, every other thing is intact, and you are stressed, girl, just know that you are adding more more pepper to the injury. Conception will not take place in that state. You need to relax and enjoy the moment so that your body will deal with your body that part of the brain, section of the brain, will release the hormones that are responsible for the reproductory phase of the life of a woman. Yeah. So I talked about diet. I guess you are hearing this again for the third time. Diet has a major role to play plays also a major role in our physiological being as women. We have to be very conscious of the kind of food we eat, especially when we are at that reproductive phase in our lives. We need to be conscious of the kind of diet we eat. And also change of environment can also affect our menstrual cycle. I think I'll use myself as an example, like I said earlier. There was one time I traveled out of the country, and yeah, I traveled out. It was a very long distance journey. I traveled out, and probably I was, yeah, okay, I traveled out and spent some few weeks, like I think there about 2 weeks, and I came back home. Okay, let me just put it this way. Like I said in my introductory video, I'm based in Ondo. So what happened is that I left Ondo, I went to Asaba, that is Delta State, to see my parents. And from there, I traveled to Ghana for a short vacation. The change of environment from Ondo to Asaba, Asaba to Lagos, Lagos to Ghana, and Ghana to Lagos, Lagos to Asaba altered my cycle. Yeah. If not that I understood my body physique, I know from time that stress affects my menstrual cycle. If my period is supposed to start, let's say tomorrow or next tomorrow, and I happen to travel today to a different environment, automatically my period won't start that day or the next. Few days will be added to it. So me understanding this aspect of my menstrual cycle did not get, makes it easy for me to know when there's an issue, when there's need for me to raise alarm. Yeah, when I came back from Ghana to Lagos, I spent I think a few days in Lagos and I came back to Asaba. Yeah, that was during December period. My period was supposed to start, I think, 1st of January. But guys, normally I experience irregular I'm among those groups that have irregular menstrual cycle, but it's never more than 34 or 35 days. But guys, it went up to 40. Yeah, for that month. I had no reason to raise alarm because I understood or I understand my body physiologically. I knew that it was because of the movement I had from Asaba to Ondo to Ondo to Asaba, Asaba to Lagos, Ghana, or whatnot. I spent, I think, roughly 2 weeks moving up and down. So I understood that it was because I traveled, the change of environment that is causing it. So when I came back to Asaba, when I returned and I stayed after a few days, I think few days after, that is, my body has normalized to the environment, the food, the water, everything. That was when my period started. So extra 5 days added to the normal menstrual cycle that I normally experience. But I didn't have any reason to raise alarm because I knew that stress and change of environment affects my menstrual cycle. So as a woman, it's very important that you understand this understand your body as a whole. It will help you to know when there's an issue in your health, in terms of your reproductive health. But let me just say reproductive health. It will help you to know when there's an issue and when to seek medical help. Yeah, when to seek a medical help. I guess this video is long, is over long, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And please, if you enjoyed it, please like the video, leave a comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channel. My channel is at Kali Space. In this channel, we are going to be talking about women's health in general, but particularly women's health, lifestyle, faith, and just name it, relationship. So you are going to be entertained. Let me put that. You'll be captivated and motivated in this channel. So guys, please like my video, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thanks, and see you in my next video. If you have any question, if there's any video pertaining to women's health that you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comment section. I will attend to that. I'll try my best to make a video on it to expatiate more on it. Thank you, and see you in the next video. And have a beautiful week ahead. Thank you.